Alright guys, back with another stream. We're going to try to finish the Sega Master System games starting with A, and do the Game Gear one starting with A, and we're gonna see how far we get. First of all, on this list is where we got last time is Altered Beast. Again, like I said, I know that a lot of people like this game. I don't care for it, but I was going to show you the difference in the Genesis and the Master System. This is the Master System version of it. As you can see, it's a lot, the graphics are a lot worse. And if you can believe it, if you're seeing me play it, the movement and combat and control's a lot worse too. Yeah, this is really bad. That's why I said if you're going to play any version of it, at least play the Genesis or the arcade. At least those two versions are pretty good. This one right here is just... I'm not real sure how I got hit right there all that time, but... Well, they don't even do the cutscene. You just power up. I don't know if it's 2 that you gotta grab this time or if it's 3 still like the other one. Had to trick him. Well, at least my foot goes a little further. That could be really bad. Punch seems to go a little further too, but you gotta be a little bit smarter about your combat abilities here. Might need to take those out with my fist. I think it takes too long to get to the end of the stage. Well, there went my power up. Just went right off the screen. He just flew right on off. I think it's only 2 power-ups this game because I think, yeah. I think that's the way it works, is it's only 2 this time. Good gosh. There he is. I guess it's only 2 you have to grab to turn you into the next. Nope. The stage just keeps going. Yeah, I've had about enough of that. That's a little bit ridiculous. That way on that one. So, looking at the list here, we're gonna looks like Andre Agassi Tennis. You can see it looks worse than the other versions that we've already played, so that's probably not going to be good. So we won't go over that because it looks worse. You can tell by the thing. Arcade Smash Hits. Let's see what they got. Everything's going to look bad on the Master System because it's the Genesis version. It's the 8-bit Genesis. In other words, Centipede, Breakout, and Missile Command. So everything's going to look a little bit rough on here if they made it for the Genesis 2. And that's just how it is. I mean, some of it's not bad. This is not graphically horrible. Still, like I said, a little bit rough to look at, but not terrible. The music is not really all that good. Okay, well, getting a little better there. There are definitely different versions of this to play, along with the other games that were on there. So we're gonna go on to the next game. Now, this next one, this is what's going to be really interesting. This is I'm going to try to pronounce it right. It says Argos Nojujikin. A lot of people will know this under a different name, this game. It was an arcade game. The arcade version's not horrible. The Nintendo version's not horrible. And I don't think they re-released it for the Genesis. It's pretty much Rygar, is what it is. Just under its Japanese name. Which I think is how they released it in Japan. And I don't think it ever... It says it was released, but I don't know that it ever got released on our shores as what it was. But you can grab power-ups and stuff, and you can run through the stage. I think it's more similar to the arcade game than it is to the NES. Got a way different game than this one, and it was a little bit, I think, different than the arcade version as well. So we got a better, for the Nintendo, we got a different, better version. Well, in my opinion, it's a better version of the game because it's more of an action-adventure platformer. So we got a better version of it for the Nintendo, in my honest opinion. So, but as you see, you just attack with your shield there. You can get upgrades and power-ups. You can actually attack upwards and downwards if you jump, I think. Nope, can't attack downwards, just upwards. I think every so often you end up fighting a boss. You can't stand still for real long amounts of time because the enemies will just keep coming. They'll keep respawning and everything else. So you gotta... Oh, I can't go that way. Not a bad game. The control leaves something to be desired, and that one-hit kill thing is not... That's not a great thing there. Especially against certain enemies and stuff like that. This game does get way harder as you go along. No, well, obviously I'm dead. And continue, but yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that though, because when we get to the NES for that one, which will be way on further down, it'll be a lot different. Now remember how I told you on the Sega Genesis that the Little Mermaid game was probably the best one out of those three? Well, I'm going to show you the one for the Master System. This one is a step up from... Oh, you can play Aerial or Triton on this one too. This one is a step up from the Game Gear version, but not by much. Because as you can see, I have no map. And the control is awful. Yeah, the control is awful. So I told you the Genesis version was the best. Now, as far as you know how it is and stuff, it's just, I don't know. Maybe you just gather... No, you save people in this one. They've got the number at the top of the screen, which is 5. Not like I found any of them yet. But this one's just awful. Like I said, the other one was okay, but I mean, it's not great. The Game Gear one's worse than that one I just done for you. It's even worse if that's humanly... If you can process that in your brain. Next one is Assault City. I think this one could have done with... I think it's on some of the other systems. But I think it could have done better on this one with a little bit more... you want to shoot the alien heads on this training thing. Otherwise you can't get... You really can't get in the game. I think you want to shoot the alien heads. I think it should have been one of those, not a rail shooter, but I think it should have been one of those that uses like a light gun like the Zapper or the Super Scope did for the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Don't worry, this is not the entire game. It's kind of like a training stage to get you ready. The control is slippery as crap. What you want to do is when you're in here, you want to try to stay in the middle to the side a little bit, one way or the other. That way you can hit as many of those alien ones as you need to. Ah, crap. Not really alien, I guess. I guess it's cyborg. Ain't too bad. Game difficulty level 3. Yeah, your difficulty is whatever your shooting skill is. And then they have the whole story, which I didn't care to read the first time, so. Oh gosh. Robot Scrapyard Attack. Battle 1. And as you can see, it's a rail shooter. And it's pretty difficult to do even on lower levels. It's still pretty difficult. So, you know, and you can't hold the button down. You have to keep pressing the button. So this is one of those that, yeah, you could do it with a controller, but it would be better with some sort of light gun or something like that. This would be one of those where you would use the NES Zapper. I think it's a two-player... No, it might not be a two-player game. I'm not sure. I think you can get upgrades for your gun, but I don't think it really matters much. I think I died. I did. I died. Game over. Oh! Continue. Oh, yeah, you know. Rise back up. It might have been... The Minister might have worked on that one. I'm not real 100% sure about that. Okay, so we're going to go on 3 asterisk games. There's I'm just going to tell you about them. I'm not really going to go over them. We've seen all 3 of these before. There's Asterisk, and the Great Rescue, and there's Asterisk and the Secret Mission. They're all the same as the ones that we played before, just with different people on them. Well, no, it's the same characters, just with different graphics. Now, for an 8-bit console, and for how it was, it's not bad on the graphics. The hit detection and the movement on the game is a little bit lacking. But they're not horrible. Yeah, and on this one you can actually... I think they make you pick certain ones in certain stages. Like I said, the hit detection and the stuff is not really great, but it's okay. Yeah, you get potions on this one to do different things. You can jump down there if you want. I'm not going to, though. Platformer and stuff, and you can go here and there and all kinds of different places. So walking left to right, and sometimes finishes the level, sometimes it doesn't. This one finished the level. So boom, you're done with... Oh, well, you gotta face the... Yeah, health. Well, what would be health? And then your score. There's supposed to be a timer on the screen, but we can't see the whole timer. I mean, you can see like just a little bit on the screen. Stage plays the same even with obliques. The next stage, it's just a different stage on there. The Great Rescue and the Secret Mission, they're both about the same. This Ayrton's, let me see what's there. If you want something a little different, you can also play this Asadventurous.tv Colosso. It is asterisks and obliques, but instead of the regular two characters, you pick a dog or like a big huge dog that's more like a Yeti. So they kind of, the game plays the same. As you can see, the game plays the same. It's just a different take on it. That's really all there is to it. See? Same game. It's just a different take on it. You play as dogs instead. So if you don't want to play as asterisk or obliques, then you can play as a couple of dogs there. Which is, it doesn't really change it too much. It just makes it a little bit different. Astro Warrior's another one we're going to look at here. Should be coming about to the end of this grouping here. I don't remember this one too well. It is a horizontal space shooter. Okay, I don't know if I need to do anything there or not. I'll say this game better be ready to lay down the lead, because I get to shooting with the buttons and stuff, and I lay down the lead. I assume I can't fly into those big triangular shaped things because my bullets are making noise whenever I shoot them. So let's not do that. This kind of feels like Galaga in a way, mixed in with some of those other shooters that maybe you played. But the way that they come down and move all around and stuff, it kind of feels like Galaga. Ow, arm's getting tired. Of course, it's like I told y'all, I bring the pain! Okay, I think I'm just going to fly up the middle and to the side there. That might be a better idea. This is the only thing I hate about shooters like this, is the stages seem to be stupidly long and there's not enough really like variety of outstanding like power-ups or nothing that you can gather. So there's really no reason to go through stages if you're not gonna have anything. Oh dear, those look bad. Those are bad. Down all four. Uh-oh. We're coming into an area that's an all black background. Destroys Zanoni. You tell me when I can start shooting and I'll start shooting Zanoni. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh boy. Do you have to start at the beginning of the stage? No, you start at the boss. Okay. That's not horrible. The control's not bad. There's really not much else to say about it. It's not bad. You'd have to be used to, you know, playing certain things on it and things of that nature. We're going to do this Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2. I'm probably butchering his name, but that'll be alright. And then we got one more on the Master System, and then we'll jump to the Game Gear. I wonder if this is like the other one, where if you wreck into something, it see, that's another thing. I can't read the side of the screen. I have to count how many I'm going to... Oh, this is worse than... This is awful. Okay. Well, I know how to gear down. How do I gear up? Ah. Well, at least it doesn't do the flashing lights and stuff when you wreck. The only bad thing is the gear shifting button is right beside of the gas button. So you gotta kind of hold your hand at a weird angle. I do like how they have the map in the upper right hand corner of the screen. At least you can see what's coming. Other than that though, I guess the control's what it is for what it is. I mean, the car doesn't handle well. If you try to go around a speed thing there for a while, I guess if I dealt with it for a little while, I'd understand it. I do not remember trying out this Aztec adventure game. This looks a little weird. Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do. Destroy the enemy. I don't know much to tell y'all about this because I played it one night and I just did not... I don't really understand how it goes. I mean, it's kind of one of those where you walk around, you get stuff and you kill enemies and stuff. And you try to figure out where you're going and things, but I don't know. It's no Legend of Zelda. I'll tell you that right now. It's none of those like those or anything. It's nothing like that. I was throwing bombs on coins. Oh, the enemy's back. Yeah, I don't know about this one. The control's there, but the game's just... I don't know. The game's just weird. I guess if I knew what I was doing, maybe it'd make a difference. Man, this game is just odd. Yeah, I don't know about that one, guys. That one's just odd. So I'm going to do the review on those for right now, and then we'll go to the Game Gear one. That way I don't have to come back here. Of course, Altered Beast, like I said, if you're going to play it, play the Genesis or the arcade version. This one's garbage. Andre Agassi Tennis. As you saw, we played a better tennis game the other day on the Genesis, so that'd probably be your best bet. The arcade smash hits would be okay, because like I said, you got Centipede, Breakout, and Missile Command, so those are pretty good. The Rygar one, let's stick to playing the NES version. That's probably the better version of the group. The arcade one's not too bad. This one is kind of a watered down arcade port, not really worth it. Little Mermaid. If you're gonna play any of them, play them on the Nintendo or on the Super Nintendo, one or the other. Because the ones for the Sega are just bad. But if you're gonna play any of them on the Sega, play the Genesis one. Like I said, this is just an asterisk and obliques with dogs. Assault City is a rail shooter that's pretty tough depending upon how it goes. Astro Warriors, up and down space shooter with good controls. Pretty good controls, and it's not a bad game. Asterisk and the Greatest Rescue, and Asterisk and the Secret Mission. Each of them control pretty much the same. They play okay. The controls are okay. They might be a little bit slippery. The hit detection might be a tad bit off, but they're still playable. This one right here, this racing game, there are better racing games out there. I mean, this one is not, it's not horrible, but you'd have to learn how to drive the car pretty good. And this Aztec Adventure, you'd have to look it up, see where you're going and what you're doing. The controls are not bad for what they are, but the game is just, I don't really know what to say about it. I don't know what to tell you guys how the game is, or anything like that. So I'm typing up the Game Gear list here so I can get it, so that we can get through here. I have to look up certain ones. I have to look up the games list because I don't know what we've got and what we don't have. Alright, so we're going to be going over some of the same games. Yeah. The Game Gear is Sega's answer to the Game Boy. They thought, just to give you a little story on the Game Gear, that way I can push some of this back. Theirs was, I think the Game Gear took 6 batteries, whereas the Game Boy took 4 batteries. But the Game Gear was in color. The Game Boy is in the monochrome, or like the black and white that you would say. So it was what do you want over that? Do you want to have to use more batteries to see in color, or do you want to use less batteries to do that? But also, the Game Boy had its own Nintendo library along with some of the other publishers, whereas Sega would have pretty much their Sega lineups. They might here and there get other games, but the Game Gear faded away, and the Game Boy's still standing apparently. So I guess it done better than the other one. So first of all, we're going to check Aerial Assault. I think Aerial Assault's for some of the other systems too on the Genesis. And this one I can actually say is not a bad game on any of the systems it's on. It's on here, it shoots a little slower, but it is what it is. It is it's a horizontal shooter, spaceship shooter, and you can hold the button down and you won't shoot as fast as you would normally shoot, but but it's not bad for what it is. And like I said, there's a couple other systems that have this game on there, and they're all pretty good. I mean, even the look for this for the Game Gear is not a bad look. It might not be perfect 100%, what you'd want, but those are homing bullets that don't really quite hit the mark every so often. See if we can get to a stage, or at least a death there. But it's not horrible. I like having these bullets that go wherever. Of course, that sometimes gets you in trouble, because when one of them's chasing somebody around, and the sky got dark in the background. Y'all see that? Oh, man. Should grab that power up, I guess, probably. Again, as with the other shooter, I wish it would go just a tad bit faster. This is a little bit slow for my taste. I'm used to playing Gradius off the NES, and it moves at a little faster pace. And some of those other shooters do too, like Life Force and some of those other ones. They move at a faster pace. And I'm used to that. I'm not used to, you know, these little things. Ooh, I got the big M's. Or the W's, or whatever, your 3s, or whatever you want to call them. Boy, they make a nasty sound. The background stuff keeps tripping out. It keeps getting dark. Different buildings keep getting, and it got lighter, and different buildings lit up, and I guess those ones that have the brackets around them, they have power-ups in them. I'll take these pretty good, though. These are a wide shot power-up that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it looks like it's garbage, but it's not that bad. I think this is a barrier. Oh, are we going to get to a boss or not? Oh my, we got rockets now. And they kind of lock on to where they're supposed to go. Well, kind of. Go up or down a little bit to make them fire. I was hoping to get to the end of the stage so I could maybe fight a boss. Okay, well, there's no boss. Mission complete. Okay. I'm sure there's bosses later on in the game, but there's not one there. Oh gosh. Guys, again, on Aladdin, play the Super Nintendo or play the Sega Genesis version. Don't mess around with these. These are just, gosh, a mercy. I mean, yeah, it's got a password system, but jeez Louise. Oh, I think it plays like the Master System one. Yes, it does. It's a carbon copy. Okay. Well, and then shuts that down real fast. That's just a carbon copy of that other one. Alright. So we're going to go to Alien. Oh gosh, do we have to do Alien 3 again? Guys, you can look at the screen and you can tell that looks just like the Alien 3 that we just got done with. Again, on this game, the Super Nintendo version is the best. There is no good version on the Sega. There's just not. There's not a good version of this game on anything. Except for the Super Nintendo. That is it. Yeah, because you're just, yeah, this is an exact duplicate of that other one. Yeah. Yeah, exact duplicate. Get them and get out before the timer goes off. Yeah, that's what that is. Plays about the same. It's amazing they can come out with it on 2 different systems and it play about the same way on both systems. And here's Alien Syndrome again. And like I told y'all before, there's so many versions of this game out. You'd have to try some of them to see exactly what you want. And at least this one I can pick somebody. Round 1, living area. The time bomb is set. As you can see there, you can look at the map. This one plays okay. It doesn't... the control's not awful. So it plays pretty good. Still doesn't mean it's great by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, it plays okay. The other one played decent. for what it was. Most of the Alien Syndrome games play decent. They look kind of trashy, but they played it decent. Gosh, did they make a one for every system on there? I guess so. We're skipping the tennis again, and we're gonna do the arcade classics because I'm trying to get done with the with the Game Gear, so we can get back on the NES. The Amoeba Group presents. Arcade classics. Seems like everybody's got arcade classics. Centipede, Missile Command, and Ultra Pong. It's the same ones as before. I don't really know. Oh, because on Ultra Pong you can pick what kind of Pong you want to do. Okay. That makes sense. That's okay though. That again, like most other ones, is okay. I don't know why they like to put Missile Command on everything. I'm not a big fan of Missile Command, but maybe you guys are. I don't know. Oh, Arch Rivals. Oh my gosh. You thought the Master System version was bad. I would say play the Nintendo or the arcade version of Arch Rivals. I don't know that I'd play any other type of version of it like Sega or anything, because they got the music in there and they got the teams in there, but man, it's just a... Man, you don't even get to pick nobody. You are home or away, and that is it. Oh gosh. Man, this court looks friggin' huge. Good gosh, a mercy. Man, look at the friggin' basketball goals. Look like they're all decrepit and broke down and everything, like they're gonna break at any minute. I forget, I can't. I gotta get closer to dunk. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Get down. I'm surprised they got the cutscenes in there. Wow. Wow, that's rough looking. You don't get a character select screen. All you get to do is select teams. Oh man, that's rough. That's rough. Alright. Arena Maze of Death. I actually tried playing this game. It's got that diagonal look to it. You go through stages, you look for keys and other stuff to get through the stages. Yeah. Ambitious for what it is. I played a little ways more through it. It's better than it looks. Of course, the first little bit would just kind of turn you off anyway. It's a different game, that's for sure. You can get different weapons and stuff so that you can do different things and stuff like that. You'd have to know where you're going, what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll die real quick on that game because I think the enemies respawn. And we all know how fun that is. But it's just kind of a going around, like trying to figure out what you're doing. I'll turn these next ones on so that you guys can see them. This video may be a little over an hour. But I'll play these just briefly. Oh, you can pick either one of them. It doesn't matter though. It plays like the Master System one. It's just the same. The controls just a little worse. That's all. See, no map, no nothing. See? Just in case you had the Master System and you wanted to take your games on the go, I mean, I guess, but Asterix, they're just Game Gear games. Same thing with the Super Monaco GP. I do want to go over this Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe. I do want to go over this one. This is a very interesting game because I like the Golden Axe series on the Genesis. I like the Golden Axe series, and I think it's kind of neat that they made a kind of like a Golden Axe game for the Game Gear. It's not a great game, but it is. See, it's got like its own. It's got like its own story and its own continuing stuff, kind of like an RPG. So it's not your typical Golden Axe game, but it's more like Golden Axe meets an RPG of some sort. And you play as what the guys called off of the Golden Axe games, which is Axe Battler. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. But see, you can do like talk, item, search, or anything like that. So it's an RPG type of game. So it's a little different. Now when you come out here on the map, you get into these screens, and it turns into a little bit of Golden Axe. Enemy was destroyed. Found one magic vase, or vase, if you will. But yeah, it just kind of goes into these adventure screens, and some of them are a little longer than others. It just depends upon what you get. Let me see if I can find a dungeon of some sort. Usually there's a dungeon, and it's a little longer than just killing somebody. And ow! What happened there? Oh, I guess if you get hit, you automatically get knocked out of it. Okay. Well, that's different. So I guess you have to know how to fight. Come here! Apparently I don't know how to fight. There's no one there. Oh, no, duh, really? Uh-oh, fight across the bridge. The skeleton! That's kind of a bummer. I thought the game was actually going to be pretty good, but me seeing how the game reacts after you get just getting hit once is that's kind of crazy. Really, I'm the one backing up, jumping and swinging and stuff, and she's the one that hits me. I have no life. Okay. Okay. But if you go in dungeons and stuff, it's a little bit further around to do stuff and everything. But it's more like an RPG mixed in with Golden Axe. And I was wanting to show you guys that because it's kind of an interesting their currency too. It's something a little different because a lot of the Game Gear games they had were, you know, mostly clones of other games, and this one's not. It's not really a clone. You'd have to get better at it. I mean, that would be the thing. We'll run through these last three real quick. Like I said, not much to say. They're still about the same, and then we'll go over the last part of the review, and then we'll be done. And we'll be on the Nintendo next time. So, fear not. I'm going to do something a little different that way, you know. I'll give you a password on this one. The control's not bad. Honestly. The control is not... Well, that was different. I don't know how I switched characters. Well. Like I said, the control's not bad. The game itself's not like fantastic, but you know. This one probably looks the exact same as the other one. Maybe a little bit watered down. Gotta watch, man, when you pick that language thing. No, they all move about the same. Yeah, they're all about the same. Yeah. They're all about the same. You might want to take a shot at some of those Asterisk and Obliques games. They're not horrible. They get harder as they go along on the games. But they are somewhat enjoyable. I mean, as far as going through them and stuff. Screen's tripping out. Which one's the gas? Again, the gas is right next to the gear shifter. Again, wouldn't be bad to have if you didn't have nothing else and you wanted a racing game to take on the go. I'm sure there's better ones other than this. But yeah. It is that. Again, at least they have the map on the top part of the screen. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Alright, so we'll go over those. I'll kind of review those real quick, and then we'll be on a Nintendo the next time. So, Aerial Assault, like I said, a good horizontal shooter. Kind of like most of the other. Any version of it's pretty good. Aladdin, again, play the Genesis or play the Super Nintendo version. Alien 3, play the Super Nintendo version. It's at least got missions on it, and it's at least somewhat playable. Alien Syndrome, you can play just about any version of this game and get some enjoyment out of it. It's just kind of what you want to do with it. If you want to play on the different systems it comes out with, or if you just want to, or just any of the systems really. This Andre Agassi tennis, you just probably need to stay away from it. It seems to be a mess on every system it's on. Arcade Classics, if you can find one that's got that's a couple of the games that you like or something like that, that'd be pretty good. Arch Rivals, you probably should just play the Nintendo one, because the Genesis one does not look all that great, and it doesn't play that great, and it is it looks okay. Sounds okay. Doesn't really play okay. So that's a thing. This one, you don't even get to pick your character. I mean, you're just thrown into it after you pick your team. Arena Maze of Death. This one's one of those that goes it's a diagonal kind of go around picking up stuff thing. It's kind of like Immortal meets Doom, except without all the traps. The Doom aspect of it being kind of like a shooter, like an action adventure, not being in first person, but going around picking up keys and other items and things to get through the levels. But it kind of does the diagonal thing, which is not awful, but it's not great either. Little Mermaid. Play it on Nintendo or Super Nintendo. I better look at the Super Nintendo and make sure that there's one on there before I let y'all go, because I may just be thinking that the one on the Nintendo. If you're gonna play one for the like the Sega systems, play the one on the Genesis. The Asterix games, you can give them a try out on anything. They're action adventure platformers. They're decent. They're not horrible. Axe Battler, like I said, is like Golden Axe mixed in with an RPG. I mean, you play around with it for a little while, and you could probably, probably do pretty good. You might need a walkthrough of some sort just to get you started. And in the racing game, there are better racing games, but you could still play this one and still be okay. So, still be all right. Let me check that on the Little Mermaid for you guys. I know it's on the Nintendo, and I know on the Nintendo version of the Little Mermaid, it is I don't know if it's under the or if it's under little. It's pretty good. It's different than those ones there. Let's see if it's under little or if it's under the. It must be under the Little Mermaid, because it's not under little. So let's see. Yes, I do realize there are games that start with A down here. They're the, but I figured I'd just get them all in one whack whenever we get down here. I'll have to find it for you guys. I know it exists. I'll have to find it. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I don't know where it's at right off the bat. I found it before, but let's look at the Super Nintendo and see if it's got the or if I'm telling you guys wrong. It may just be the Nintendo version might be the main one. Should have just kept going the way I was going. I don't think it's in the A's because we done went through the A's. Nope. Some of them had Ariel as the title. Some of them they labeled different. Maybe there's not one for the Super Nintendo. Maybe I thought there was. There may not be one for the Super Nintendo. I know there's one for the Nintendo, I just don't know what it's under. Some of them are under different names, and you have to kind of look them up a little bit differently. I thought it would be under the favorites because it's a Capcom game. You'd have to find it though first. I know it's there. I know one of them's there because I played it before. A lot of good games there. I think we were here before on this. Oh gosh, you gotta go down all the ones with numbers on them. Might have to look it up by company. And look up Capcom. But I at least know that it's for the Nintendo, and at least it's by Capcom on the Nintendo, so it's a little bit better. Yeah, you got so many games to look through, and it's ridiculous. Oh. Nope. That didn't work good for me. Master System, Game Gear, Genesis, Mega Drive. Master System. Let me look at my book here. Y'all hold tight while I look at my books. This might be one of those you have to find on the other thing too. There is a Little Mermaid game for the Nintendo for Capcom, and from where it's from Capcom, it makes it a little bit better. It makes it like a side scroller. I wouldn't say platformer because you're still in the water. Let me see if there's one for the Super Nintendo. I could have swore there was, but I could be wrong. The Nintendo one is the one you want to play then, because I don't see one for the Super Nintendo. So the Nintendo version is the one that you want to play. It's the best one out of the group. Problem is, I'll have to find it. Yeah, I'll have to find it. So, so I can show you guys that it's actually better. You'll have to take my word for it. It's better. But we'll still try to find it at some point and do that. So, but that'll conclude this time. The next time, check us out again. We'll be on NES games, starting with the letter B. I think there's some pretty good ones in there that start with the letter B. I do believe. Oh yeah, there's the great Back to the Future games. There's Bad Dudes, Bad News Baseball, Bad Street Brawler, Balloon Fight, baseball. There's a lot of pretty good ones in there. Batman games and stuff like that, and Battletoads and things. There's a lot of good ones coming up. So we'll get into that next time. So, but until next time, we will see you later.